Hi there, Houdini Enjoyer here, and today we're going to talk about integer, floats, vectors, and matrices. Uh, we're going to keep it simple at the start as usual, and then we're going to go more deep into it using this simulation I did some times ago, which is a Banzai wave, it's called. So it's just water simulation with points. These are all points, and we're going to use them to see practically what this means. So let's get into it. What's an integer? An integer is any number which is a complete number, which has nothing behind it. So it's like one, two, three, four, whatever number it's like this. Even, I don't know, 3,437, it's an integer number. 3,437.2, it's not an integer number. Okay, so it has to have nothing behind it. It's a full number, nothing behind it, like this. Let's keep this here. Sorry. So this is an integer. A float is the other thing. So it's 2.34. Okay. Uh, one 1.7578. Okay, it's an integer. It's a float. So whatever has something behind it, it's a float. P so 3.14, etc., to infinite, it's a float number. So a float is a value that has something behind it. It's like value point something. Okay, that's a float. In this case, we try to keep it simple, so we go with the one above, 0.25. Okay, 0.25, 35, 37. Yes, I want it like this. Okay. Vector. What's a vector? A vector is a direction in the space. Okay, a direction in the space. It's a line in the space which gives you even the direction of it, and which has a magnitude, which has a value that gives you how much is it big. Okay, so it's just a line in the space, in a 3D space, with a value of it, like 2.5 power of this line. If this line, if a vector is like this, 2.5, another vector which is like this, it's gonna be proportionally, I don't know, something like 1.7, because how much big is this is the magnitude. Okay, how large is it? How long is the magnitude. So this is a vector. We're gonna see that in real short in into the simulation, in the point simulation. So you're gonna have a better understanding of it, hopefully. A matrix. What's a matrix? A matrix is any kind of array of numbers in rows and columns that gives you a definition of something. Okay, so it's a column of numbers. So you have one number here, another 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 number here. And this, for example, in this specific example, it's three, okay, three numbers for two columns. This is a matrix 2 for 3, a 2 by 3 matrix thing. Okay, so this is it. If it was another column here, it was like this. In that case, it would have been a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, let's see that here. So a matrix, in this case, you can see here for any object in Houdini, you have matrices already. It's like, it's this thing here. This thing here, it's a matrix. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, sorry, it's just 5 captured. Um, it's just 5. I'm gonna need to remake this. Okay. So one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because this one is a single one. It's not valid in this case for the matrix. Is this 5 3 times. So here, this thing here is a matrix that gives you the definition of the object. Okay, it's a matrix used to define the object, which is a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we said, a 5 by 3 matrix. Okay, so this is a matrix. Very simple. Uh, okay, let's see integers and floats. Or no, let's go on the other side. So we have seen matrices. Let's see a vector. A vector in this case can be the velocity. Every point here has a velocity, and the velocity is always a vector, or in most cases. So we can see here, I have the velocity point attribute, so the velocity of any point. You can see that here, it's not really visible, so we're gonna make something about it. Scale vectors. Look, you can see vectors here, and now they have a higher scale, and we can see them. So look, this is a point. Wait, I'm sorry, it's way too much points here. So we're gonna try to reduce the points before we do this. Let's do it like this with a point drop, point drop. Yes. With a point drop here, we're gonna have a PT number, random PT number. This is gonna go to bind export. Sorry, I wasn't really ready for this actually, seems like. And we're gonna call this A. This is not really the subject. Just give me a second. We're gonna blast. I just need to reduce the number of points. We're gonna blast at a minor. Oh, yeah, what? I need to use points here. One. Yeah, this is working. I need to do it on the other side. Yeah, okay, it's way better. Okay, now you can see. Okay, we reduce the points to 1% because this is the 99% that is gone. So you can see it now. This is a vector. Every one of these is a vector because you can see it's 1 point here. Wait, let me have a good look over it. Sure. Okay, so we have here point, which is this one. It has a direction. Okay, you can see. This gives you the direction because you can see a little bit of an arrow here. So you have every direction actually. It's not really immediate maybe, but you can see that even here. I know that this point is going there and this point is going this side. So you have a point with a direction, a line that gives you the direction, and based on how big this line is, sorry, it's way too much things. Okay, one line. Based on how big this thing is, you know that this velocity is like something. And this one, which is smaller here, is proportionally less. So let's say that's, I think that's like 8% of this. So it's gonna be a 0.8, 0.8 velocity in this case. So this is it. So you can see here, for example, these points are way faster. They have a way higher velocity vector, way bigger velocity vector than these other points. You can clearly see that because the lines are smaller here, and here they are huge. Hopefully this makes sense for you guys. So you can see all the velocities here, and for me, when I found out about this thing, it was the coolest thing ever because it, even this is something graphically appealing for me. I don't know for you guys. Okay, so this is it. In this case, for example, I use the velocities here. Sorry. Okay. In this case, I use the velocity to color my points. So based on the velocity, I put out the velocity, I fit that blah 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 blah, and everything goes into the ramp, and it goes back to CD, which is the color. So based on the velocity, I have a color for my points. So the bigger velocity, the white points, the medium velocity, the blue points. Sorry, and the what color is this? The blue, the light blue points. I don't know what color is this in English actually. Indico. I don't know. And the dark blue points is the less velocity. The less velocity you have, the darker you are. This is the thing here. So you can see here, it's everything dark, and if you see the velocities, they are all low, but there. Okay. So if you can see, if I can put this threshold closer here, you can see that there we have more velocity. Yeah, can you see that? So this is it. These are higher, and the higher you go, the whiter you get. Okay, so this is important for any kind of attribute, because if you go here and you find your attributes, which we're gonna talk soon about, maybe I blasted some attributes things. Let's see here. Attribute. I'm sorry, I'm not really understanding what's up here. Let me see this. Usually you should be able to see the attributes things. Hmm. Well, guys, let's go inside here and we can see it here. Here you can have them even colored differently. You're gonna see it from here because I wasn't. Usually you should be able to see here what is your attribute. So A is a float, CD is a vector, etc., etc. I don't know why. Maybe a bug, maybe something. It's not that does not really matter, but you can see that even here. See, P is a vector, P vector here. V vector. Everything green is vectors. Age is a float. Okay, so age you can bind export it, and it's a float vector, so you can go 0 point something, 0 1. So everything with a point something is a float. ID, if you go ID here and you go bind export, you do the same. You see, you can do only integer. So it's 1, 2, it's a full number, bro. Nothing, point nothing. You can't point here. Full numbers. Um, this is an integer too. Everything you see bluish, it's an integer. Everything you see uh, this color, which I don't know in English, it's a float. And everything you see green, it's a vector inside the box. Outside, the colors might be different, might be no colors, but you have to know that every value in Houdini is something, is an integer, is a float, is a vector, and you have to know that you can change that. If you have here a vector, let's say, okay, a vector, you can transform a vector into a float because a vector is basically three floats. So you can go vector, sorry, you can go vector to floats, and it gives you, okay, you have a vector, you want to go three floats, we go three floats, bro. And you can do whatever you want with this actually. Wait, let me see, are we okay? Let's see if I can do something. Vector to float with the V, and float to vector, we go back to it. And we maybe want to add something only in one of the things. So we want to add here, I don't know, constants here 10, 11, okay. See? And if we do not do this, it's like this. Now the colors are like this because we are, it's the color is a vector, but it's not really a vector. Well, but we're going way too deep with this thing. Anyways, the important thing is that you can change things from vector to color to, I think, matrix. Yeah, you see you can go from matrix to float, matrix to float, and you have your matrix here, which it gives you this table here, but it can be different depending on your input, and gives you float here. Every one of this float is one of these numbers, you know. So this is, I hope that this is clear. And I don't know, this is it. Hopefully it makes sense for you guys. Let me know about it, you know. You cannot really go from vector to color because the color it needs to know that you are trying to that you're trying to unify those things and give them a code. So in here you should go ramp there, okay, and you do this, and now it knows. And outside here you have your ramp, and you can give that colors. So it's a bit different. A color, it's not properly a vector, but it's more a vector than anything else. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I did not make huge mistakes here, because this is what I know. Might be not 100% correct, but it works. So it's the usual philosophy. If it works, it works. Doesn't need to be 100% correct. We're not developing spatial stations here for real use, at least. So it's cool, whatever. You don't need to worry about it that much, I guess. Hopefully that was clear. 20 minutes. That's a lot, but I don't know. Let me know, guys, if you want some more, if you like this type of things. What would you like to go into and things like that. Thank you, guys, and see you later. I just dropped my pen.